सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। ॐ नमः परमहंसास्वादितचरणकमलचिन्मकरन्दाय भक्तजनमानसनिवासाय श्रीरामचन्द्राय ॐ। So we finished the 15th sarga yesterday. We have to start the 16th sarga. So to just give a quick recap of what was happening in the 15th sarga, in the previous sarga, in the 14th sarga, Ashwamedha Yaga was completed, and Dasharatha requests that a yaga for specifically for getting children should be performed. He requests Rishishringa, and then Rishishringa agrees, and he starts to perform Putra Kameshti Yaga. So Valmiki doesn't give much details about what is happening in the Putra Kameshti Yaga itself. So he calls it Putriyam Yashtim, but Vyakhyakas call it Putra Kameshti Yaga. So in that Putra Kameshti Yaga, details are not given the way it was given for Ashwamedha Yaga. It's just said that Rishishringa starts doing the yaga for a putra. So Putra Kameshti he starts doing, but then Valmiki shifts the focus. So Valmiki is very nice at doing this. So if you see plays or something these days, stage plays are almost out of fashion, but if you happen to see stage plays, so at sometimes you will see that on the screen two things will be happening simultaneously, but one side of two events are having simultaneously, but focus will be changing. So one side will be blackened, but you can see very lightly what's going on. The other side there will be focus, so light will be focused that side, that will be more and more resplendent. So there is a focus on that event. And now again sometimes, so if he has to shift, then he will show this side and close this side. So something like that. Valmiki is an expert in doing that, and that comes out very nicely in of all sargas in Ayodhya Kanda. It comes out very nicely. So something like that he's doing here also. While that Putra Kameshti is going on, suddenly he shifts focus to what is happening in the Yagashala, unknown to everybody else. So people around there don't know that this is happening. Only only those participants of that event know that is the Devata. So Devatas are there. They have come. Why did they come there? Because so that's the story. You should take like that. That Devatas come and take the Havir Bhaga. Whereas strictly speaking, from the Mimamsa perspective, it's nothing like that. You offer with that mantra, that itself is the offering. That is say Agni will carry that the whatever offerings to devatas, all that is also strictly not accepted in Mimamsa. To take that, and they are there around in the fire, on top of the fire, and they are discussing amongst themselves. And then what are they discussing? That Ravana is troubling us so much, and they request Brahma that something has to be done. And then Brahma says, yes, definitely something will be done. And at the same time, Vishnu also comes, and then they request Vishnu also that you have to take birth in a human. You have to take birth as a son of Dasharatha, and then you have to put an end to that Ravana. So Vishnu also agrees, and then Devatas are happy. Till there is what the previous sarga has done, and the next sarga, which is today's 16th sarga, that continues a little more, a discussion between Devatas and Vishnu, and then after some 10 shlokas or something, after that again the focus is back to Dasharatha and the yaga and things like that. So what's the difference between the request that the Devatas make in the previous sarga and this sarga? So it almost looks same, but there is some kind of an additional thing which you can borrow from, say, Mimamsa. So there is a shloka like that. I think it's from Kumarila Bhatta's Vartika, I think. So dharme pramiyamane tu vedena karanatmana iti kartavyata bhago mimamsa puraishyate. So there's a shloka like that. Puraishyati, maybe puraishyate. Anyway, so dharma, what is dharma is known through the Vedas, but how is that? So dharma means yagadireva dharma. For Mimamsakas, that yagas and everything, that itself is dharma. So that is known through the Vedas. So what yagas to be done and things like that. But the iti kartavyata, how should it be done? The procedural aspects of that yaga is what Mimamsa adds. That's what Purva Mimamsakas say. iti kartavyata bhagah mimamsa purayishyati. So that iti kartavyata bhaga mimamsakas add. So mimamsa, that is what is mimamsa shastra about, the iti kartavyata. So that iti kartavyata is what you can say is being discussed here. So now Vishnu will ask, okay, you want me to kill Ravana, but in what way? What specific way you want me to do that? That they will tell here. So something like that you can take. Atha shodasha sargah ततो नारायणो विष्णुर्नियुक्तः सुरसत्तमैः जानन्नपि सुरानेवं श्लक्ष्णं वचनमब्रवीत् ततः means thereafter, after all that has been done, that is the devatas request him and then he also agrees and he also decides. So thereafter, after all that, Narayanah Vishnuhu niyukta surasattamaihi means by those great devatas he has been niyuktaha, strictly means he has been employed, but you can say he has been requested by these devatas. Niyuktaha, who was requested? Vishnuhu means Veveshti iti Vishnuhu, the all pervading Vishnu, and Narayanaha is, so the Antaryami, that's the meaning of Narayana. So Govindaraja is giving meanings for that word Narayana, but that's the accepted meaning for Narayana, Antaryami. So whether that Antaryami is somebody separate from the Atma itself, or whether that Antaryami itself is the Atma, so there is difference between Vishishtadvaitins and Advaitins. So we say that is the Atma, Vishnu, Narayana is the Atma, but Vishishtadvaitins say Narayana is the Antaryami. There is something called Atma and then there is Antaryami. So they have the Sharira, Shariri thing like that. Anyway, so Narayana means Antaryami, that Narayana Vishnuhu, he was having, after being requested by devatas, so Janannapi, so he knew, so he's going to ask something, but he already knows the answer for that. But then why did he ask even if he knew? So some tikakaras are saying, because they said niyuktaha, we are employing you, so they might again start feeling bad. What did we end up saying? We shouldn't have said like that to Vishnu. Maybe he felt bad. But then Vishnu is also acting along. So okay, you have asked me, okay, tell me now what should I do and things like that, so that they don't feel bad. So some kind of that meaning is given. So Janannapi, you can say Vishnu knew everything, but then still he is requesting devatas, okay, tell me what to do. So Bhagwan knows everything, but Maharaj Shri used to say, he says in some places that, so Bhagwan, if you say you are all knowing, if Bhakta keeps praising Bhagwan, you are all knowing, then it's a little, what should I say, hurting to the Bhakta. You are all knowing means what? I am suffering so much, and you are all knowing means what? You are staying quiet. So it's not like that. But then you should understand. So Bhagwan is also playing along. Okay, now tell me what to do. He's Sarvagnya, but then he's saying, okay, tell me what should I do, specifically what should I do. Evam Suranam Vachanam Abravit. To those devatas, he said the following words. What kind of words? Lakshnam Vachanam Abravit. So very, what should I say, clear, very pleasing kind of words he asked the devatas, because he's asking them specifically what should I do. So upayah ko vadhetasya rakshasadhipate suraha yamaham tam samasthaya nihanyam rishikantakam. So ko upayaha, what is the specific, so what is the upayaha is, what should I say, the strategy or whatever. So what should I do? What should I specifically do? Tasya vadhe rakshasadhipatehe ko vadhe ko upayah, to kill that Rakshasathipati. What is the upaya? So Suraha, hey Suraha, hey Devatas. So he's saying Yamaham tam samasthaya nihanyam rishikantakam. So rishikantakam is one who has become, so I said in the last class, kantakam is a thorn. So Kantaka, so that he who has become like a thorn to these rishis, that means he is causing a lot of trouble to that killing that Ravana. What is the upaya? So how? Yam aham tam samasthaya. So aham, so this asthaya sampadya. So upayam vadhe upayah kaha, yam upayam asthaya sampadya rishikantakam ravanam hanyam. So what is that upaya? Having so obtaining which? So yam upayam asthaya, to taking recourse to which upaya, that I should put an end to that Ravana. That kind of upaya you tell me. What is that upaya? So aham nihanya means I should be killing. So I will kill that Ravana by which upaya? That upaya you tell me. So evamukta sura sarve pratyujur vishnum avyayam manusham rupamasthaaya ravanam jahi sanyuge. So now they are telling the specific upaya is Ravanam jahi. Sanyuge means in a war you kill that Ravana. Jahi, that means you win over him, means you kill. Manusham rupamasthaaya, you take a manusha rupa, human body, and then that way you kill him in a war. So eva mukta sura sarve pratyuchuhu, having been told like this by Vishnu. What is the upaya? Please tell me. Having been told like that, These Sarve Suraha, all the Devatas, Pratyuchuhu, they replied back to that Vishnu, the Avyaya Vishnu. So Avyayam Vishnu, so Avyaya is because now he has to come down as Avatara, and then he has to come down as four, four Amshas or whatever. It's strictly speaking, Rama is considered as a Purnavatara, so Rama is complete. So it's not that parts of him have come here, come there in Lakshmana and Bharata and things like that. So that indivisible Rama, so he's indivisible, but then now he has to take an avatara. That Dhvani is there, so that Vishnu is indivisible, but he has to take an avatara. So that Vishnu, Avyayam, that Avyaya Vishnu, they're told, what they tell, take a human form and come down and kill that Ravana in a war. Sahi tepe tapastivram dirghakalam arindamah yena tushto bhavat brahma lokakril lokapurvajaha. So tapas tivram tapaha tepe. So he performed a great tapas dirgha kalam, for a long time. He did a very tivra tapas, very intense tapas he did, that arindamaha, that scorcher of enemies. So who's that scorcher of enemies here? So that Ravana, because he's also what should I say, troubling all his enemies, these devatas and all of them. But then also in the tapas he required, or maybe Arindamaha is a Sambodhana to Vishnu. Arindamaha, I think so. So anyway, so hey Arindama, yeah, it's Sambodhana to Vishnu. Hey Vishnu, so you have to put an end to this Ravana. Why? Because so he's been so he has been given great boons by Brahma. He did perform great tapas, and because of the tapas, tushtaha bhavat, Brahma tushtaha bhavat. So Brahma became happy with his tapas, and then lokakrit lokapurvajaha. That lokakrit means one who created this world. That Brahma, lokapurvajaha is one who was born first. So Brahma Swayambhu Prathamam. So there's a mantra like that in Mundakopanishad. He's the first created being. That Brahma, he was pleased with Ravana's tapas and gave him some vara, and then santushtah pradadau tasmai rakshasaya varam prabhuhu. So he gave. So Brahma, having been happy, santushtaha by that tapas, he gave to that rakshasaya, tasmai rakshasaya varam pradadau. So that Prabhu Brahma, so Swayambhu, that Brahma gave vara to that Rakshasa Ravana. And then what is that vara that he is telling? Nanavidhebhyo bhutebhyo bhayam nanyatra manushat avajñatah puratena varadanehi manavaha. So nanavidhebhyo bhutebhyaha. So manushad anyatra nanavidhebhyo bhutebhyaha. Except human beings, all other kinds of beings, they should not be able to kill me. So manushad anyatra nana vidhebhyo bhutebhyaha bhayam na. So he has no fear from any other living being except human beings. Except human beings also, but why no bhayam for human beings? Because he says avajñatah puratena varadanehi manava. So he took him for granted. He took human beings for granted. He thought, what will these human beings do? These other people might do something to me, but these human beings cannot even touch me. So therefore I don't bother much about them. So I don't care about what they are going to do to me. They cannot do anything to me. So that avajñata, taken for granted. So what should I say? He slighted them or something like that, and therefore he didn't even mention human beings in his list that he asked for. So that we saw in the previous session. So avajñatah puratena varadanehi manavah. So while asking for that vara, manavas, he didn't even mention because he didn't feel any bhayam from those manavas. He took them for granted. एवं पितामहात् तस्मात् वरदानेन गर्वितः उत्सादयति लोकान् स्त्रीन् स्त्रियश्चाप्युपकर्षति. एवं पितामहात् वरदानेन तस्मात् पितामहात् वरदानेन गर्वितः. So having obtained these varas from that pitamaha, he got these boons, and then garvitaha, he became arrogant. So once you become arrogant, what will you do? You start doing adharma karya. So we have Apastamba Sutra or something like that. So druptaha Drishto drupyati druptaha dharmam atikramati. So I told this before also. So like if you feel extreme happiness, there is some kind of an arrogance that comes in you. Once arrogance sets in, you start crossing, what should I say, transgressing dharma. Druptaha dharmam atikramati. So that is what he is also doing. So garvitaha, he became arrogant, and what did he do? Utsadayati lokan streen. So he is causing great trouble to the three lokas, and then strishcha upakarshati, he takes away or he kidnaps women also. So tasmat tasya vadho drishto manushebhyah parantapa. So tasmat tasya vadho drishtaha manushebhyah tasya vadhaha drishtaha. So therefore his his death is now by human beings. So human beings are what should I say? Drishtaha means they are envisaging that death that Ravana has to be put an end to. So hey Parantapa, so one whom so the Parantapa is an addressing to Vishnu, one who puts an end to his enemies. So tasmat tasya vadha manushebhyah drishtaha. So human beings have to go and put an end to him. So इत्येतद् वचनं श्रुत्वा सुराणां विष्णुरात्मवान् पितरं रोचयामास तदा दशरथं नृपम्. So इत्येतद् वचनं श्रुत्वा, having heard these words, and suranam vachanam, these words which have been spoken by devatas, that words having heard, so who? Vishnuhu Atmavan. Atmavan means you can take Karunamayaha, or you can take Atmavan is now somebody who has decided, yes, I will do accordingly what the devatas have requested, that I will do. Such kind of Atmavan Vishnuhu Pitaram Rochayamasa. Pitaram Dasharatham Pitaram Rochayamasa. So Nrupam Dasharatham, that King Dasharatha, he chose as his father. Rochayamasa means he chose that Dasharatha will be his father. सचाप्य पुत्रो नृपतिस् तस्मिन् काले महाद्युतिः अजयत् पुत्र्यामिष्टिं पुत्रेप्सुररिसूदनः. So that Dasharatha also, Sachapi, that Dasharatha also, Aputraha, he does not have children. Nripatihi, that king Dasharatha. So Tasmin Kale means around that time when this conversation is happening, at that time what is he doing? Mahadyutihi, that of great brilliance. Ajayat means he is doing yaga. So Ayajat means he is doing yaga. What kind of yaga? Putriyam Ishtim. That Putriyam Ishtim means that Ishti which gives Putras Phalam. So that Putra Kameshti he is doing at that time. So when these people are discussing, around the same time this Putra Kameshti is going on. And then he is Putrepsuhu. Putrepsuhu means he has a desire for children. So he is Aputraha Putrepsuhu. So he does not have children and he wants children. Therefore, he is doing this Putra Kameshti. Arisudanaha is again addressed to Dasharatha. He puts an end to his enemies. Such kind of Dasharatha. This Arisudana for Dasharatha here means because that yaga is Kashtasatya. Lot of things have to be done, but then he's putting up with all those difficulties and doing, so that he's able to put up with all the physical difficulties, discomforts that come with the yaga. He's putting up with it. So that is the Arisudana here you can take. Of course, he also defeated other enemies and rakshasas and things like that. स कृत्वा निश्चयं विष्णु रामन्त्र्य च पितामहम् अन्तर्धानं गतो देवैः पूज्यमानो महर्षिभिः. स कृत्वा, स निश्चयं कृत्वा, now having thus decided that I will be born to Dasharatha, Vishnuhu, what did he do? Pitamaham amantrya. Pitamaham amantrya means he also informed his decision to Pitamaha Brahma. Then antardhanam gataha, so he disappeared from there, from that scene. These devatas and brahmas are there, and then Vishnu came and then he disappears. Antardhanam gataha devai pujyamano maharshibhihi. So while he was leaving, these devatas and maharshis also, so that they worshipped him. That means they did pranama to him, and at that time he disappeared from there. Tato vai yajamanasya pavakad atulaprabham pradurbhutam mahadbhutam mahaviryam mahabalam. So there's a print mistake in my book. I don't know if you have like that. So it's written as mahadbhutam. So it's not mahadbhutam, it's mahadbhutam. So ततो वै यजमानस्य पावकाद अतुलप्रभं प्रादुर्भूतं mahadbhutam mahaviryam mahabalam. Tataha means thereafter, after Vishnu disappears from there, so yajamanasya pavakat, from the fire. Pavaka means fire. From the fire of that yajamanasya pavakaha means the fire that is being kindled there by these people who are doing the yaga, or you can say by Dasharatha's fire, because it's for Dasharatha's sake they are doing that yaga. So yajamanasya pavakat means from the fire in which this Putra Kameshti is being done. So that kind of fire, from that fire, Atula Prabham. So Atula means so immeasurable or incomparable. Prabha is a kind of brilliance. So with such brilliance, so this Yajna Purusha comes out from there. That's the meaning. So these next few shlokas are a description. So from 11th to 15th or 16th shloka is a description of that Yajna Purusha who's coming from that fire. So that Yajna Purusha, how is he? He's Atula Prabham. So he has that great brilliance around him. So Pradurbhutam means he came up from that. He came up. Mahadbhutam. So Mahadbhutam. So Mahadbhutam is that great Purusha ityartha, that great being. Bhuta is here that great being. Mahadbhutam, great Bhuta, the great Purusha ityartha, that great person. So Mahaviryam, he has great Virya. Virya, you can say great energy, and then Mahabalam, you can say he has great power. So now Tikakara is telling Mahad Bhutam here shows that it is Vishnu only who came and not Agni or anybody else. So Vishnu's tejas only Vishnu can carry. Now he is going to tell that Vishnu, that Mahad Bhuta, that Yajna Purusha who came up from that Yajna, he gives that Yajna Payasa, that Payasa he gives, and that Payasa contains the tejas of Vishnu, and then Vishnu's tejas who can carry? Only Vishnu can carry. So this Mahad Bhuta is nothing but Vishnu himself. So he quotes this shloka. All of us must be familiar with this shloka perhaps. So Eko Vishnur Mahad Bhutam Pruthak Bhutan Yanekashaha Trin Lokan Vyapya Bhutatma Bhungte Vishwabhuga Avyayaha. So this comes up in Vishnu Sahasranama. So I think in the Uttara Pitika somewhere this comes up. So Eko Vishnur Mahad Bhutam, that he quotes here. So that Vishnu is that Mahad Bhuta, the supreme person. So Purushottama, that Purushottama is Vishnu only. So that Vishnu only came. Vishnu came as this Yajna Purusha. That's the meaning. And now these 12th to 15th shlokas are a description of 12th to 50, sorry, 12th to 15th, a description of that Yajna Purusha who has come up from the fire. So how is he? Krishnam Raktambaradharam Raktasyam Dundubhiswanam Snigdha Haryaksha Tanujashmashru Pravaramurdhajam Shubha Lakshana Sampannam Divyabharana Bhushitam Shaila Shringa Samutsedham Dripta Shardula Vikramam Divakara Samakaram Deeptanala Shikhopamam Tapta Jambunadamayim Rajatanta Parichadam Divya Payasa Sampurnam Patrim Patnimiva Priyam Pragrihya Vipulam Dorbhyam Swayam Mayamayimiva. So this Vishnu, this Mahadbhuta, so he will be called Mahadbhuta hereafter in one more shloka, I think. This Mahadbhuta, how did he come? So Dorbhyam, look at the 15th shloka, Dorbhyam Vipulam Dorbhyam, by his long extending hands, with that two Dorbhyam, Vivachana. So by those, with those long extending hands, Divya Payasa Sampurnam Patrin Pragrihya. So with his long two hands, he came up by holding that Divya Payasa Sampurnam. He came up with the Kalasha, which is so Patrim Sampurnam Patrim Pragrihya. So he had this Payasa Patra, which is filled with this Divya Payasa. Divya Payasa is because it has the tejas of Vishnu. That Payasa he held in both hands and came up. And then that Payasa, that Patra is Patnimiva Priyam. Patnimiva Priyam. So that Payasa is very dear to this Yajna Purusha, as though it is his own wife. So that's the so that's because that the similarity between that and that Patnimiva Priyam. Why is it beloved to him like his own wife? Because there is so actually Tikakara says what is similar there is that Patri and so Patni, both are in feminine gender. That itself is the similarity, he says. But then you can also say it's very dear to him. That kind of why is it dear? Because it's his own tejas, something like that. So that kind of Patri, the Yajna Patra, that Payasa Patra is there. With that he comes up. So Pragrihya Pradurbhutam. So in 11th shloka, what you saw, Pradurbhutam. So Pragrihya Pradurbhutam Dorbhyam Vipulam Dorbhyam Swayameva Pragrihya Pradurbhutam. So he came up with that Payasa Patra, and then Mayamayimiva. So that Patra is as though it's made by Deva Maya. That kind of beautiful Patra. That Patra also will be described. But before that, look at 12th verse onwards. So it's description of the Yajna Purusha. Now Valmiki, now he's an excellent person in doing such things. So he describes that Yajna Purusha. So how is he? He's Krishnam, dark in complexion. Raktambaradharam, he's wearing red clothes. So Ambara is clothes. So Raktambaradharam is one who is wearing red clothes. Raktasyam means he's red in complexion to see. Tundubhiswanam. So how is his voice? He's going to speak next. So his voice is as though if you beat drums, how will the sound be? So that's how his voice is. So very resounding kind of voice. So now Snigdha Haryaksha Mashru Pravaramurdhajam. So very long samasa. But what that I will tell you what the word means. Then I will tell you the word by word meaning. What it means is he has hair like that. So red in color, like a lion has. What should I say? What is it called? The hair that lion, or whatever, that thing that lion has around its face. So I think, lion, not lioness, but lion has around its face. So such kind of dark, orange, reddish orange kind of hair around him. That's the meaning. So both Tilakakara and Shiromanikara are telling, but Shiromanikara I'm reading because he gives very nice word to word meaning he gives. No, so snigdha means, so Tilakakara is telling snigdha means, so in Hindi we say chikna, so that's it's very shiny. So that's the meaning of snigdha. But Shiromani Kara snigdha means darshana matrena snehotpadakaha. So snigdha means just by looking at it, you kind of feel attachment towards it. So it's very kind of endearing. That kind of what should I say? So it's shining like that. So Haryaksha, so Snigdha Haryaksha, Haryaksha means lion. Haryakshasya Simhasya. So Snigdhaha Haryakshasya Simhasya. Tanujaha. Tanuja means that which is born out of the body. What is born out of the body? So Tanuja Shmashru Pravaramurdhajam. Excuse me. Okay, so Snigdha Shmashru, Haryaksha, Snigdha Haryaksha Tanuja. So Snigdha Haryaksha Tanuja. So Snigdha Haryaksha, you can say that lion is something that is very dear to see, that kind of a lions. Haryaksha Tanuja means that which is born out of the body. What is born out of the body is hair. This example is given in Mundakopanishad also. So Yathoranabhi Srijate Grinhate Cha. So to say that Brahma is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam of this Jagat, three examples are given in Mundakopanishad. So Yatha Sharire Keshalomani, that is one of the example. And then the famous example is the spider. The spider's web, comes from itself. So that, and then so from the Prithvivyam Yatha Prithvivyam Oshadhayaha, like these what should I say, plants come out of earth. That is one example. And like how Kesha Lomani, Kesha is the hair that comes on top of the head. So this head, hair on the head is called Kesha, and Loma is hair on other parts of the body. So that hair is called Loma. So Kesha Lomani. That itself. So this Tanuja means that which comes out of the body. What comes out of the body here contextually is the hair. So Tanuja Shmashru Pravara Murdhajam Shmashru. So Tanujaha, what is Tanujaha? Loma Samuhascha. So Tanujaha means that hair which is coming up, born out of the body. Shmani Mukhe Shrayate iti Shmashru. So Shmani means Mukhe. Shma means Mukha. Shmani Mukhe Shrayate iti Shmashruhu. That which has face as the Adhara. That means hair on the face. That means his beard. So his hair and his beard, how are they looking? Pravaraha Dirghaha. So they are very long. So the hair on the head is very long, and he has a long beard also. Murdhajaha Keshascha. So Murdhaja is Murdhaja is the hair on the, or whatever, on the hair on the head. So his body, I mean the face on the hair on the face, which is his beard, and the hair on his head, which is this hair. So all that is very long and red in color, and because of that, long hair. So what is the upama for that? So the simile that Valmiki uses is like a lion's. That lions, what is it called in Hindi? In English I don't know. So whatever that kind of hair around lion. So this Yajna Purusha is looking like that, red in color. The hair is also red in color, and they are very long. Therefore, it is looking like he is looking like a lion who's very daring to see. So that is the Snigdha part. Snigdha is he is very endearing to see. Mane, yeah. So it's called the mane. The hair around lion is called mane. So this is the similarity between both of them. And now Shubha Lakshana Sampannam. He's so here you can say all his body parts are very auspicious. That is according to Samudrika Shastra. It's there. And then Divya Bharana Bhushitam. He is wearing great ornaments and things like that. And then Shaila Shringa Samutsedham. So Samutsedha means tall. So Uchritaha. So yeah. Uchrayaha. So Samutsedha is his tallness. So his length is Shaila Shringam, as though mountain peak. That means he's very tall in his height. So it doesn't mean, so these Puranic characters are described like this, and then stories are made. So there is this Chiranjeevi, so Sapta Chiranjeevi or Nava Chiranjeevi, I don't know, I think Sapta Chiranjeevis. So, and then there are descriptions like this. So he's tall like a mountain, tall like a what should I say? So that tree and things like that. So Tala tree. So these people now create stories. So I remember in my childhood, one story used to be there that somebody saw Parashurama or Ashwathama, somebody in Sri Shailam, and then he saw that how was he? He was very tall. He was tall like a mountain. and then they create such stories that those days people used to be very tall, and now over the yugas the length, the height of things has come down. Of course there are stories like that in Puranas, you will find. Maybe in Mahabharata also there's a story like that, because Balarama is supposed to be very tall. There are stories like that, Balarama and his wife. So anyway, let's not go there. Those stories are there, but then you should take them as what should I say, as to just mean that they are taller than usually people around of that time are. So that's the only meaning. It's not like literally he's as long as a mountain. It just means he's very tall. So Shaila Shringa Samutsedham means he's tall like a mountain. And then Dripta Shardula Vikramam. So in English we say catwalk. So in Samskrita Sahitya you find such expressions. One is so Gajagamini. So Mada Gajagamini. So for women they say, so is that woman very very, so Hamsa Gamini and things like that. So some expressions like a she elephant is walking, like that a woman is walking. So that's a beautiful, that's a simile for beauty they use, like that Hamsa Gamini, like a Hamsa is moving. For men they say so Dripta Shardula Vikramam. Shardula is tiger, and Vikrama is so Padan. So the way feet are, or foot is kept ahead. When a tiger walks, if you see any videos, so it walks in a particular way. That kind of gait. So Vikrama is called gait. So Shardula Vikrama. So his gait is like a tiger, and what kind of tiger? Dripta Shardula Vikramam. So his gait is like a very, so Dripta Shardula is literally, it means an arrogant tiger, but then the arrogance here. So like I said, Mada Gaja Gamini. So that Mada or whatever, and then Mada for elephants, and then here Dripta here for tiger. So it's supposed to be a Dripta Shardula, supposed to be a better quality Shardula, and then a Mada Gaja is supposed to be a better quality of Gaja. So this Dripta Shardula is this Driptatvam of that Shardula is supposed to be an enhancing quality. It's not a like earlier we said, for Ravana, he's Garvitaha. It's not like that. There Garvitaha is a Ninda. Here Dripta Shardula is a Stuti of that Shardula. It's a very good quality Shardula. Like a very good quality tiger moves, this Yajna Purusha's gait is also like that. And then Divakara Samakaram. So he's looking like a sun in his brilliance, you can say. Deeptanala Shikhopamam. And then this, so Tikakara is telling this Deeptanala's example is given for Taikshnyam. That means his sharpness is like that of the, what should I say, the flame, the tip of a fire flame. So he's like that, very sharp. So even in videos you can see brightness and sharpness and things like that. So that's what Valmiki is also perhaps saying. In brightness, in brilliance, he's like sun, and in sharpness, he's like fire. Anala. So Anala means fire. So interestingly, Anala means, alam means enough, and then one for whom this enough is not there. How much ever you put, fire will burn it. Fire is consuming it. So figuratively speaking, so Anala means for one for whom there is nothing called enough. That's the literal meaning, and that is, so by Rudhi we say Anala means fire. So Deeptanala Shikhopama means like a blazing fire. His sharpness is like a blazing fire. And then now the Patra is being described. Tapta Jambunadamayim Rajatanta Parichadam. So that Patrim, so Patrim Pragrihya, he's holding that Divya Payasa Patra, and that Patra is, so you can guess, it's made out of gold. That's what he's telling. Tapta Jambunadamayim. So it's Jambunada is gold, and then it's Tapta Jambunada. Tapta means, so again this is another so frequently used phrase. So gold, I don't know how actually gold is made, but then in descriptions like this in kavyas and things like that, you will find that gold is kind of burnt or heated to give it a particular kind of beauty or something like that. So Tapta Jambunada Mayim, that Patra is made up of that very good bright gold, or a shining gold. And then Rajatanta Parichadam. Rajata is Rajata Vikara. So Rajata means something that is made out of silver. Rajata means silver, and Rajata is something that is made out of silver. Parichada is that lid. So this Parichada is Pidhana Patra. There is a cap on top of that golden Payasa Patra. There is a cap which is made out of silver. So that kind of Payasa Patra, this Yajna Purusha Mahadbhuta, he holds that Payasa in both of his hands, and very daringly he holds like it's his own wife. So it's very dear to him. With his two hands he holds that Patra, and he comes out of that Yajna yajna, the fire of that yajna which was being done. And now having come out, what does he say? Samavekshya bravid vakyam idam dasharatham nripam prajapatyam naram vidhi mamihabhyagatam nripa. So hey nripa, hey king. So he says, before saying that, samavekshya bravid vakyam idam. So he looks around. So he examines things around, and then he says the following words. So Samaveksha, so, or you can say Dasharatham Samaveksha. So he examines, he looks at Dasharatha, and then Idam Vakyam Abravit, the following words he says to whom? To Dasharatham Nrupam, to Dasharatha, that king Dasharatha. He says these words. What does he say? Hey Nrupa, hey king, Prajapatyam Naram Vidhi, Mam Iha Abhyagatam. So Mam Iha Abhyagatam, me who has come here, you please understand that I am Prajapatya Nara. So Prajapatya means one who has sent, one who is sent by Prajapati. And then Tikakara says Prajapati means here you should take as Vishnu only, because Prajapatehe, so Prajapatina Preshitam, that is Prajapatyam, Prajapatina Preshitam Naram. So Prajapatina Preshitam Prajapatehe Prajapalakatvat Vishnoha Sambhutam. So Tadrupam Ityarthaha. So Prajapalaka is Vishnu only. So I am sent by Vishnu. I am sent by Vishnu means I am Vishnu's Amsha. So that is what he is indirectly telling. So understand me to be Prajapatya. So Prajapatya Nara. So Praja sent by Vishnu. So such kind of, so you understand me to be that. That means he is declaring that I am sent by Vishnu. And Tatah Param Tada Raja Pratyuvacha Kritanjalihi Bhagavan Swagatam Testu Kimaham Karavanite. So Tatah Param, or Tatah Param means thereafter, after being told like this by the Yajna Purusha, Raja, that Raja Dasharatha, what did he do? Kritanjalihi. So he did namaskara. So Kritanjalihi Pratyuvacha. So Kritanjalihi Raja, that Dasharatha who has done namaskara, he says Pratyuvacha, he tells in reply to the Yajna Purusha, what does he say? Bhagavan Swagatam Testu. Hey Bhagavan, hey respected being, welcome to you. And then Kimaham Karavanite, please tell me what should I do for you. So this is what Dasharatha is telling. So Tataha here in the beginning, Tataha. So Tikakara is telling that Tataha means, so as soon as he saw that Yajna Purusha, for some seconds he was a little startled, and now then again he composes himself, and then he says these words. So hey Bhagavan, Swagatam Testu Kimaham Karavani, what should I do? Please tell me. So to you, Kimaham Karavani te, to you, what should I do? That means, what do you want me to do for you? So may I help you? We ask. So he's telling, may I do something for you? Please tell me if there is something that I can do for you. Atho punaridam vakyam prajapatyo naro bravit. So that atha means now thereafter, that punar idam vakyam prajapatyaha naraha, that prajapatya nara, he says the following words again. Once again means he said something before, now Dasharatha has replied to that, and now he is telling something back once again. Now what does he say? Rajan archayata devan adya praptam idam tvaya idam tu nripashardula payasam devanirmitam. Rajan, hey king, tvaya, by you, archayata devan archayata tvaya, by you who has been worshipping devatas. And then where did he worship? He worshipped in Ashwamedha Yaga. So by you who has worshipped devatas, to you, so by you praptam, this praptam means this has been obtained by you. That means I have come to give this to you. So idam praptam, idam means what he is having in his hand, that idam praptam tvaya, because you have worshipped devatas for Ashwamedha Yaga, I am giving you this payasam. Idam tu nripashardula payasam devanirmitam. Hey nripashardula, hey best amongst kings, and this is that devanirmitam payasam. This payasa is devanirmitam. Devanirmitam, again you should take Vishnuna nirmitam. So this has been made by Vishnu. That means this is Vishnu's amsha. That payasam I am giving to you. Why am I giving to you? Because you have worshipped devatas with great respect, and therefore I am giving to you. Prajakaram grihanatvam dhanyam arogyavardhanam. So prajakaram means this will give you children. Praja means children. This will give you children. Grihanatvam, you take this from me. Dhanyam arogyavardhanam. Dhanyam means dhanyam you can say prashastam. So dhanyam means very, very good. So this is supposed to be very good quality. What is very good quality? Is devata. So Agni, so Yajna Purusha has come and given, you know. So therefore dhanyam arogyavardhanam, it also establishes your health. So something like that. So it gives you great vigor and things like that. So such kind of payasa I am giving you. And then what should I do with it? So you should imagine Dasharatha is asking what should I do with it. To that Yajna Purusha is telling bharyanam anurupanam ashniteti prayachavai tasutvam lapsase putran yadartham yajase nripa. So you give this. So first of all, ashnita, consume it. Consume it means what? Not that you should consume it. What you should do? Bharyanam anurupanam prayacha. So why means definitely nishchayena bharyanam anurupanam bharyanam prayacha. So you give this to your wives who are anurupa. Anurupa means what should I say? Worthy. You can say in this context, anurupa is give to your worthy wives. So some tikakaras are saying that worthy wives means Dasharatha had many wives, of which these three people are worthy. I mean, these three people whom he is going to give in the next shlokas. So those are worthy. So that kind of worthiness you check and give. But so far, what I have seen in Tilaka Tika is he does not say Dasharatha has many wives and these are three important and things like that. He just says Dasharatha has three wives, and then we will see later what he's going to say, Tilakakara. But as of now, he's not bringing in all those many wives and things like that. So there are stories like that Dasharatha had many wives. Things. So he's the Tilakakara is interpreting Anurupanam Bharyanam means your wives who are worthy of consuming it. That means these wives, whatever three wives he has, they are worthy and you give it to them. So if you give them, what will happen? Tasutvam lapsase putran. So through them you will get putran, you will get sons, or you can say you will get children. Yadartham yajase nripa. So for what you have been doing this yaga, so for keeping, so desiring what you have been doing this yaga, that you will get. So that children you will get because of this. Tatheti nrapati pritaha shirasa pratigrihyataam patrim devanna sampurnam devadattam hiranmayim abhivadya cha tadbhutam adbhutam priyadarshanam muda paramaya shaktaschakara Chakara so tatheti nrupati to tatha. Therefore he says, okay, definitely, thank you very much. And that nrupati pritaha is very happy that king shirasa pratigrihyatam. So that patrim, so that patra, that payasa patra, he takes shirasa pratigrihya means very respectfully he takes. So when we take prasada, first we do like this, So shirasa pratigrihya, so he keeps, it's not that he took with his head. You have to take with your hand, but then you keep it at your head with great respect. He took it. So patrim pratigrihya devanna sampurnam patrim. So that what is there in that patra? Devanna sampurnam. So that great payasa is there in that. So devanna you should take here as that payasa which has been made by devata. So devanna sampurnam patrim devadattam. So it is devanna sampurnam and devadattam. Devadattam means devena vishnuna dattam. So that which has been given by devatas. So this Devadatta, Vishnu Datta. So Devadatta is the most common example that all traditional Vedanta texts also will have that. So even Bhashyam, everywhere you will see Devadatta, Yajnadatta and words like that. And even teachers will use Devadatta. So that Devadatta word you can say has come from here. So Devadatta means that. So like we have Prasad ji now. So Prasad means what? Ishvara Prasad. So he's Ishvara's Prasada to us. Like that, those people who had that Yajna Samskara, they used to say Devadatta means Devena Dattaha. So he has been given to us by Devatas, Yajna Dattaha. So by Yajna Purusha, we got him. So something like that. So this Devadatta here, Devadatta means that Patra, that Payasa, which is given by that Yajna Purusha. Devadattam Hiranmayim. So Hiranmayim Patrim, that golden Payasa Patra, he took. And then what did he do? Abhivadya cha tadbhutam adbhutam priyadarshanam. So priyadarshanam, very pleasing to see that Yajna Purusha, and that adbhutam. So he is very brilliant also to see tadbhutam. So tadbhutam abhivadya, that great bhuta, mahadbhuta, we saw earlier also that mahadbhuta, that Yajna Purusha, abhivadya, he did namaskara, muda, paramaya muda, with great happiness, he did pranama, and then Pramaya Muda Yuktaha. So he had that great happiness, and then what did he do? Chakara Abhipradakshinam. So Abhipradakshinam means again and again he did Pradakshinam to that Yajna Purusha. He is very happy now. Now the result for what I have been waiting for so long, that's going to come to fructify. So he is very happy. He takes that patra and he does pranama, and then he does so many times he does Pradakshina to that Yajna Purusha. Tato Dasharatah Prapya Payasam Deva Nirmitam Babhuva Paramapritaha Prapya Vittam Ivadhanaha Tataha. Thereafter Dasharatha Payasam Prapya, having obtained that Payasa, and what kind of Payasa? Deva Nirmitam Payasam Prapya. So Babhuva Paramapritaha, he became very happy. Prapya. So Payasam Prapya. So that is over. So Prapya Babhuva. So now again he is telling. So Vittam Ivadhanaha. So again he got that paisa and he is very happy. How Valmiki is using a simile, Vittam Ivadhana, like a pauper, Adhana, one a very poor person. If he has got great treasure of money, what does he feel? So Dasharatha is also feeling like that. Tatastadbhuta prakhyam bhutam paramabhaswaram samvartayitva tatkarma tatraivantaradhiyata. Tataha, thereafter, tadadbhuta prakhyam. So one who has that great brilliance of Sharira, that kind of Mahadbhuta, that Bhuta, what did he do? Paramabhaswaram, one who has great brilliance around him. Samvartayitva tat karma, that karma for which he has appeared, that has been completed. What is the karma for which he has appeared? He has appeared to give that payasa to Dasharatha. So having done that job, what does he do? Tatraiva antaradhiyata. Tatraiva means there, from where he has come from, which is the Agni. There itself he disappears. Antaradhiyata means, so antardhanangataha, he disappeared. So now Harsharashmibhirudyotam तस्यांतः पुरमाबभौ शारदस्याभिरामस्य चंद्रस्येव नभोंषिभिः. So हर्षरश्मिभिरुद्योतं तस्यांतः पुरमाबभौ. So antahpura literally means palace, but even this has come even before. So antahpura is, so you should, it's an upalakshana to the to the queens, to the three queens who are there. It is an upalakshana to them. That means antahpura, his antahpura. So the literal meaning is his antahpura Harsharashmibhirudyotam avabhav. So his antahpura avabhav shone with great brilliance. How did it shine? By Harsharashmibhihi. By Rashmi means rays, and not rays of sun or lamp, but Harsharashmibhihi, by rays of happiness. Udyotam, so as though lightened by rays of happiness, his antahpura shone. So that's the literal meaning, but you should take by rays of happiness. His queens became, I mean, they were shining with rays of happiness. That means his queens became very happy. So you should not take antahpura literally to mean his whatever palace. So that's a wrong interpretation. This came earlier also. Even here again, Tikakaras are telling antahpura means, you know, the Rani, the three queens, and then he's giving another upamana. So Sharadasya Strasyevan Abhom Shubhihi. So Sharada Ratri. Sharada is, I think, autumn season. That autumn season, Chandra is Abhirama. Chandra is very pleasing in that autumn season. So like Nabhom Shubhihi. So Nabha Amshubhihi, Nabhom Shubhihi. So like the sky is what should I say, by those very pleasing rays of the moon, like how the sky shines in autumn season, like that even these Dasharatha's wives, they became very happy. Sontahpuram pravishyeva kausalyam idamabravit payasam pratigrinhyam Dasharatha Antahpuram Pravishya. He enters, and now here Antahpura means palace, you can say. He enters that palace. Pravishya Kausalyam idam abravit. He says the following words to Kausalya. So see, he's a very dharmic king. Some people in movies, they will portray that Dasharatha, what did he do? He gave some payasam to Kausalya because she's the Mahishi, Patta Mahishi. She's the queen, and then the remaining payasam he gives to Kaikeyi. And then Sumitra feels bad, okay, I didn't get anything. And then they will tell stories. Sumitra was neglected by Dasharatha, and then he just cared for Kaikeyi because he's the queen. Such things, he cares for Kausalya because she's the queen, but his heart was always at Kaikeyi. Such stories, they say. Such hints are dropped even by Kausalya later in Ayodhya Kanda. But in this Payasa context, it's not true. It's not that Dasharatha was very daring to Kaikeyi, so he gave her and he didn't give anything to Sumitra. All that will come, that discussion here. Of course, we will finish it today itself. But then see, he's very dharmic. He's going and giving it first to his Pattamahishi only. And then he's talking to the Pattamahishi, which is Kausalya only. So Kausalyam idam abravit payasam pratigrinhishva putriyam vidam atmanaha. So he's telling the following words to Kausalya. What did he do? What did he say? Payasam pratigrinhishva. So you please take this payasa. And what kind of payasa this is? Atmanaha putriyam. So this is payasa that gives children to oneself. So Atmanaha putriyam. So that which gives children to oneself. Idam payasam pratigrinhishva. Tu means, so tu here means you can say, hey, so tu here, tu actually means on the other hand, or but, also some. So he says, or you can say, oh, is also something. So first of all, it's great payasam, and it's also great because it gives children to oneself. And then Kausalya, now this division. So all max people can be alert, and now you can tell how much each one got. So he is dividing it between people. So Kausalyai Narapati Payasam Dadau Tada Arthardham Dadau Chapi Sumitrayai Naradhipaha Kaikeyai Chavashishtartham Dadau Putrartha Karanat Pradadau Chavashishtartham Payasasyamritopamam Anuchintya Sumitrayai Punareva Mahamatihi. So I will just tell you what did he do, then we will go into the shloka meaning. So of that payasam, what he got, he gave half of that payasam to Kausalya. So now of the remaining the remaining half, what did he do? Of that remaining half, one half he gave to Sumitra. That means Sumitra got 1/4, Kausalya got one half. Now of that remaining 1/4, he gave half to Kaikeyi. That means Kaikeyi ultimately she got half of 1/4. So Kaikeyi got 1/8, and then one more 1/8 is left that he goes and gives to Sumitra. This is the what should I say, division that Dasharatha did. So how much did each of them get? Kausalya got half, Kaikeyi got 1/4, and then Sumitra got Kaikeyi got 1/8, Sumitra got 3/8. So that's the division. That we will see how he's doing. Of course, there is an alternative. So there is a huge commentary here written by Shiromani Kara. What should be he differs with this division that I have just said, but Govindaraja and Tilaka Kara gives this division. If there is time in the end, I will just tell you what is Shiromani Kara's apatti with this kind of division and how does he divide it. And this division they say is in other Puranas and things like that. So I'm just repeating. Kausalya gets half, Sumitra gets 3/8, and Kaikeyi gets 1/8. So now Kausalyai Narapatihi Payasardham Dadau. Tada means thereafter, having telling that to Kausalya, Payasardham, so of that Payasa, Ardham he gives to Kausalya. Then Ardau Jat Naradhipaha, that Naradhipa king, Ardhardham. Ardham means Ardhasya Ardham, you should take. Ardham, Ardhasya means that half which is left over after giving to Kausalya. So of that half which is left over, he gave to Sumitra. So first he gives to Sumitra 1/4. So Ardhasya Ardham means half of the remaining half. So it becomes 1/4 he gave to Sumitra. Then Kaikeyi Chavashishtartham Dadau Putrartha Karanat. So Avashishtasya Ardham. So of what is left over, how much is left over now? 1/4 is left over. Of that leftover 1/4, he gave half to Kaikeyi. That means he gave 1/8 to Kaikeyi. Now Anuchintya Sumitraye Punareva Mahamatihi. Anuchintya means he thought over once again. So he was going to give that 1/4 to Kaikeyi. Then again he thought for a moment. Then what did he do to Sumitraye, that Mahamati? Sumitraye. So what is left over now? So what is left over after giving to Kaikeyi? So to Kaikeyi he gave 1/8, and whatever is left over, that he again gives to Sumitra. Payasasya amrutopam. So payasasya avashishtartham. Here avashishtartham means what is left over after giving Kaikeyi. So Anuchintya, I hope you got the distribution correct. Now this Anuchintya, what does Anuchintya mean? So the Mitra, but he was going to give the remaining 1/4 to Kaikeyi, but suddenly he stopped and thought something. Therefore, he gave only 1/8. The other 1/8 he gave to Sumitra. What did he think? So he's a very Dharmatma king. He thought, I believe, that if I give 1/4 to Sumitra and 1/4 to Kaikeyi, but Sumitra is the elder, in protocol. So Sumitra is in order. So I should not make Sumitra's portion and Kaikeyi's portion equal. So Sumitra should get something more because she's the second queen, and Kaikeyi should get something lesser than her because she's the third queen. So that he thought about. And also Tikakaras are pointing out, Kaikeyi might be very dear to Dasharatha, but that dearness is only when he has to enjoy bhogas. But when it comes to dharma, he doesn't let that come and stop him. So because Kaikeyi is very, very dear to him, he has to give her more, or at least give as equal as Sumitra. He cannot give as equal as to Kausalya because other people will say, what is this? What did he do? So if Dasharatha was a person like that who gave up to what should I say, instead of dharma, if he gave up to something else, he would have thought, okay, let me not give as much as Kausalya because people will say, what did he do? Therefore, I will give Sumitra and Kaikeyi equal. But he didn't do that. He gave Sumitra a little more than Kaikeyi because Sumitra is the second queen, and Kaikeyi is the third queen. So I'm just repeating. Kaushalya gets half, Sumitra gets 3/8, and then Bharata gets 1/8. There is some small discussion to be done on this. I will do in the last. Anuchintya is over. So evam tasam dadau raja bharyanam payasam pruthak taschaiva payasam prapya narendrasyottama striyah sammanam menire sarvaah praharshodita chetasaha evam tasam dadau raja. Evam means in this way, by this division that Raja gave, Raja dadau bharyanam payasam pruthak. So evam pruthak, that means so he divided it this way, in this way, and he gave that payasa to his wives. Tascha, so that bharyas also payasam prapya, evam payasam prapya, in this way having got that payasa, that means in this share having got Narendrasya uttamastriyaha, those great wives of that Narendra Dasharatha, evam prapya payasam, so sammanam menire sarvaha praharshodita chetasaha. So praharshodita chetasaha means so they had that happiness in their mind, and then they also thought this they sammanam menire, so they thought that we have all been well respected. So what is that well respectedness? So you should take that, okay, as befitting to our order in the queen's hierarchy, so much share we got. That is one meaning. Or if you take, earlier I told, so Anurupanam, Bharyanam, there are other wives, but those people whom you think are worthy, to them you give. If you say such kind of meaning, here that Sammanam is, those people are happy that, okay, he had so many wives, of them he thought that we are worthy and he gave us. So that is one Sammanam. But we are following Tilakakara, so Sammanam Menire means as so much we got. So they are all very happy that Raja kept up all our respect or whatever is due to us. Now tatastutaf prasya tamuttamastriyo mahipater uttamam payasam pruthak hutashanaditya samana tejaso chirena garbhan pratipedire tada. So now what is he saying is, after having that payasa, so achirena, in very short time, so garbhan pratipedire, so they became pregnant. That's the meaning, but the literal meaning is, so they started experiencing pregnancy, something like that. So garbhan pratipedire tada means after that payasa bhakshana, shortly, achirena kalena, in a short time, so they became president. Tatastutaf prasya tam uttamastriyaha, those uttamastriya, those great queens, mahipatehe, so mahipatehe uttamastriyaha, so tataha prasya, having consumed that payasam, so tam uttamam payasam prasya prithak, so according to their share having consumed, so garbhan pratipedire, they became pregnant. And then Valmiki is comparing them with hutashanaditya samana tejasaha. So they are in brilliance, they are like Hutashana fire and Aditya sun. So they are shining like Aditya and sun. So Aditya is sun and Hutashana is fire. So they are shining like fire and sun. Now Tilakakara is telling Hutashana. So Hutashana is for the Garbha. That example of fire is for the Garbha. And then Aditya is a simile. Aditya is a simile for the queens. So these queens are shining like Aditya, and their Garbha is shining. That Garbha means a Garbhastha Shishu, you should say. Because of that Shishu in the Garbha, the mother itself gets a glow, they say. So that Garbha is shining like fire. So then Tatastu Raja Prativikshata Striyaha Prarudha Garbha Pratilabdhamanasaha बभूव हृष्टस्त्रिदिवे यथा हरिः सुरेंद्र सिद्धर्षि गणाभिपूजितः ततस्तु राजा तु राजा also ततः प्रतिवीक्ष्यताः स्त्रियः प्ररूढ़ गर्भः. So he looks at those pregnant wives of his, and what does he is very happy. Pratilabdha manasaha. So Tikakara is telling pratilabdha manasaha should be taken as he got his heart back. And then how is that? So manasaha you should take as heart. Pratilabdha is he got back. How did he get back? As though, so rogartasyeva yatha swasthata. So Shankara says in Mandukya Upanishad Bhashyam something like that. Tikakara is also telling. So swasthyam, health is called swasthyam. Swasthyam means your own sthiti, your own natural state is called swasthya. So he says even Atmajnana is like that. So if you take medicine, roga is removed and your health remains. You are a healthy person by yourself, but this roga has come and medicine removes that roga. Like that. So like that, his mind, his heart is always is supposed to be his own happy heart with himself, but because of this lack of seeing a lack of having sons, he had some kind of sadness. Now that sadness has been removed and his heart is again happy. So that is one meaning. Then babhuva hrishtaha tridive yatha harihi. So now that, or you can say pratilabdha manasaha, another meaning is his desire has been fulfilled. So manasa here, if you take desire, pratilabdha manasaha. So he saw his desire has been fulfilled. He's happy. He became happy, and then now he shined like Tridive Yatha Harihi. Harihi here you should take Indra, like also. So like Indra shines in heaven, and Indra in the heaven is worshipped by Surendra. Surendra Siddharshi Ganabhi Pujitaha. So Siddharshi Ganabhi Pujitaha is Indra. So Indra is worshipped by Siddharshis and all of them, you can say. But then strictly speaking, Surendra Siddharshi Ganabhi Pujitaha is a adjective to Dasharatha. So that's how Tikakaras are saying. This Dasharatha is worshipped by Indra and Rishis and all of them. And then, but why is he worshipped? Because his wives are carrying that Vishnu himself, they are carrying in their Garbha. So in their Garbha they are carrying, therefore he is worshipped by these Surendra. Surendra is Indra and Rishi. So even in Bhagavata there is something called Garbha Stuti itself. All devatas will do a stuti of Devaki. So when she is pregnant with Krishna, so it's called Garbha Stuti. When Krishna is in Devaki is Garbha, so all devatas come and do stuti. So that dhvani is here also. So it's but yeah, Valmiki doesn't go into detail of what the stuti was, whereas Vyasa and Bhagavatam goes into the stuti. But here he just says that they are all worshipped by the Surendra and Rishis and all of them. So Ityarshe Srimad Ramayane Valmiki Adi Kavye Balakande Shodasha Sargaha. So I'm just giving you some information before we close for today. That is what is and this is for information's sake, so that you will also know what is Shiromani Kara's division. So that division is also popular in some other texts. It is there. So what is his problem with this division? Kausalya got half, then Sumitra got half of the remaining. Okay, and then that is she got one of Kaikeyi. Sumitra got another, sorry, the 1/4 that was going to be given to Kaikeyi, she got half of it. So his problem is, if you say like this, what will happen in other texts and in Padma Purana and elsewhere, you will see that Rama and Lakshmana are always together because they are born of the same Payasamsha. Bharata and Shatrughna are always together because they are born out of the same Payasamsha. So how do you account for such things? Of course, he raises other points also, but this is born out of the Payasa portion that was given to Kausalya. As of from Kausalya, they are always together, and Bharata Shatrughna also similarly. So to Kaikeyi, Payasa was given. After that, little was given to what should I say, to Sumitra. So he proposes an alternative kind of distribution. So that is a little stretching of the words there, but he gives that description and he says this description is there elsewhere also. His description is Dasharatha divided the entire Payasa into 8 parts. Out of the 8 parts, 5/8, that means 5 parts he gave to Kausalya, and 3 parts he gave to Sumitra, to Kaikeyi. And then from that 5 parts of Kausalya, 1.5 parts was given to Sumitra, and from these 3 parts of Kaikeyi, 1.5 parts was given to Sumitra. So by this what happens? So Kausalya has 3.5 parts, Kaikeyi has 1.5 parts, and then Sumitra has 3 parts. I hope the calculation tallies. Totally 8 parts. So Sumitra gets 3 portions, but Lakshmana and Shatrughna, so they are 1.5. So out of that entire Payasam, Rama is, let's say, quote unquote, worth 3.5 parts of that Payasam. Bharata, Lakshmana and Shatrughna are worth 1.5 portions of that Payasam. Ahatya, in total it becomes 8. So that is his division. He goes into that discussion. Anyway, so I'm just giving this as information say. But then the standard from Valmiki's own interpretation, the simple interpretation that you can give, and the interpretation that 2 of the 3 Tikakaras have followed, is that after telling this, I forgot the standard interpretation. So Kausalya gets half, Sumitra gets 3/8, and Kaikeyi gets 1/8. One more discussion which is not there in the shlokas but it is there in the Vyakhya is who ate the payasa when. So I am going into this Vyakhya because Govindaraja has gone into it, and also in that Valmiki Ramayana.net there is some description, but that description is not found in these Vyakhyas. I don't know where he got it from, but Govindaraja gives a particular description. I think Govindaraja only. Yeah. Yeah, Govindaraja gives the description. He says first Kausalya had it, then Kaikeyi had it, and then Sumitra had it, and that's how Kausalya, Rama is born first, Bharata is born second, Lakshmana and Shatrugna are born third. So that is a simple kind of settling. Valmiki Ramayana says that Valmiki Ramayana.net, that website's interpretation says that Kausalya had first, Sumitra had second, Bharata had third, and he doesn't go into the, what should I say, conclusions of making that kind of distribution. By that conclusion, then you should say that Lakshmana and Bharata were born before, Lakshmana and Shatrugna were born before Bharata. That makes Lakshmana and Bharata as elder brothers to, Lakshmana and Shatrugna as elder brothers to Bharata. At least it makes Lakshmana elder to Bharata. So that is not a desirable kind of, what should I say, conclusion that we want to arrive at. And then he quotes in Yuddha Kanda, there is a shloka. So I'm just telling you for some information these things. So Govindaraja is quoting the shloka. The shloka is there in Yuddha Kanda, but he's quoting here. Tato Lakshmana Masa. The context is Rama, Lakshmana and Sita have come back to Ayodhya, and now Bharata is doing pranama. To Rama he did pranama. Now what is happening? Tato Lakshmana Masadya Vaidehincha Parantapaha Abhyavadayata Prito Bharato Nama Chabravit. So this Bharata, Tataha means thereafter. You have to assume. I don't know, I haven't checked there, but I remember the shlokas in Yuddha Kanda, and also contextually you can make out thereafter. So Bharata approached Lakshmana and Sita and did pranama. That's the meaning. So how will you account for it? If Lakshmana is elder brother of Bharata, then Bharata can do pranama. If Lakshmana is younger brother of Bharata, then he should not do pranama. So Tikakaras are saying, and there also that's the standard explanation we give in Yuddha Kanda also, that he approached Lakshmana and Sita, but he did pranama to Sita and he hugged Lakshmana. That's the meaning you should give. So all that is there. I mean, this discussion comes up in Raghuvamsham also. This is quoted by the Vyakyakara and things like that. So anyway, that is one more discussion, which is that Kausalya had first, Kaikeyi had second, and Lakshmana and Sumitra had third, and that's how they were born. And some people give this kind of explanation that Bharata is possibly younger to Lakshmana. No, that kind of explanation is, at least from a strict reading of Valmiki Ramayana, it cannot be taken, because even in Yuddha Kanda you will clearly see Rama's magnanimity. Rama will say to Lakshmana, all these 14 years you have served me so well, now I have become the king, I want to make you the Yuvaraja. So Lakshmana's magnanimity is, he will say, no, this is not the Ikshvaku style or whatever Ikshvaku protocol, parampara. You should make Bharata only, and I don't want to be the Yuvaraja, let Bharata be the Yuvaraja. And then Rama will make Bharata the Yuvaraja. That is there in the last Patabhisheka Sarga, the last Sarga of Valmiki Ramayana. So some information I gave, some extra information. So we will end with this. Om yatra raghunatha kirtanam tatra kritam astakanjalim bashpavari paripurnalochanam marutim namata rakshasantakam. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Tat Sat. Shri Ramarpanamastu.